So you had Britain, who had their reasons to want to go to war with Germany. You had France, had their reasons, and you had Russia, and they had their reasons. All had just something to gain by going to war with Germany. Germany, on the other hand, had nothing to gain by a war, and every reason to stay out of a war, and indeed did not want a war. So this was bubbling and boiling, with Germany trying to avoid a war with the Allies, those three powers, intent on having a war. So all you had to have was a pretext, a casus belli, I suppose, and that was provided when the Archduke Franz Ferdinand, the Austrian Archduke, and his wife Sophia went down to Bosnia on a state visit, and he was murdered down there by a revolutionary Bosnian who didn't like that Bosnia was part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and they were murdered in their car by this guy named Princip Gavrili, and this incensed the Austrians. They had to get revenge for this, and so they were determined to invade Bosnia. But they were a little bit ambivalent about it, and the Germans gave them a blank check, so-called. And the reason they gave them this blank check, they said, we'll back you up if you go to war against Bosnia. And the reason they gave them this blank check is because Russia was the superpower over in the East, and they were the protectors of their little Slavic brothers, they called them, that is the Balkan states, and they were ready to go to war against Austria-Hungary, and to defend Bosnia. So that's kind of where things were. And so what was the actual cause of the war? The actual cause of the war, well, the trigger, which set things rolling, was the murder of the Archduke and his wife.
Yep.
But then Russia mobilized their forces. Now, mobilization back in those days was considered an act of war. And Germany, the reason is because it took some time to mobilize and get your forces ready for war, and another power couldn't sit idly by and wait to see what you were going to do. And so once one country mobilizes, another is almost obligated to do it. So Germany then mobilized, and they were technically at war with each other, and then France mobilized, and so they were at war with each other. And so that was really the Russian mobilization is what started the war.